Yeah, okay.
How that's a typical, like a Zoom mix-up happened there. It was on mute. Supposed to be a big reveal.
So much for that. Huh? Too bad.
You only get one chance at your big reveal, and you blew it. But that's fine. So yeah, let's get blessed. Let's bless up. Everybody feeling blessed? Are we all blessed? Huh?
Great.
Hey, great.
Feeling
Blessed.
So let's get going. Let's start off with some. Hold on. Yeah, one sec. We're gonna start off with some.
Let's start off with some music. All right. Just one sec here. Got a lot of new stuff going on, as you can tell. So it's just take 1 minute to get just to get fully blessed. I mean, that's not too much to ask. You may hear voices and know that they are good. Just getting everything here. You know what it's like when you enter a new realm. Am I right? It takes a little time. It just takes a little time to get fully blessed. Let's go, huh? Buddy of mine sent me this today. It's pretty good. It's good stuff.
Love the air, you can't hold.
Oh, it's good. Bless
next level.
It's the kind of love that makes you reach out your hand, lift someone up whenever you can. I'm a loving it, I'm a sharing it, I'm a loving it, I'm a sharing it. And open ear for a soul in need. Help them if you can. A smile or a hug just might be enough to give someone another chance. I'm a loving it, I'm a sharing it, I'm a loving it, I'm a sharing it. It's the kind of love that makes your heart pound, the kind of love makes you sing out loud. I'm a loving it, I'm a sharing it, I'm a loving it, I'm a sharing it. You can serve a meal with love, you can dance or sing, paint a picture, write a play, oh you can create most anything. I'm loving it, I'm sharing it, I'm loving it.
Alright. So you might,
where that comes from. Yeah, it's from a cult, as you may have guessed, from Ekankar, huh? Got any fans of this particular
flavor.
Yeah. Well, so it's good. Well, no, it's probably not good. It is a cult. It is a cult. So, sorry, just trying to. Every once in a while, my new corporeal form freezes. Just trying to figure out how to best reset that when it happens. But Hey, if it doesn't go, it does. Oh, okay, here we go. Anyway, not going to worry about that too much. So the purpose of
Ekankar is to make God an
everyday reality in
your life. As
So, you have the God knowledge within you. The teachings of Ek will awaken the knowledge.
and the love of divine.
Things that are in your heart.
The road to
God is the adventure of a lifetime. Oh, somebody's got all the X stickers, huh? I like that. Into that. Oh yeah. Jay, I remember you saying that an attractive female tried to recruit you into Ekankar. So let's start with what is it? They have spiritual exercise. Ekankar means co-worker with God, apparently. So that's good. It offers ways to explore your own unique and natural relationship with the divine. With the divine. Yeah. So I'm a sucking Ek. Really, are they all over Ashland and Shasta? That's interesting. I believe it. Just never never encountered that. Well, when I spent time in those areas. Basic beliefs. Let's try that. My form has frozen again. We're just gonna ignore that when it happens. I suppose.
Whatever, it's fine.
Catch up. Ekankar teaches that soul exists because God loves it. So there you go. You can actively explore the
Spiritual knowledge.
through soul travel and dreams and other spiritual techniques. So that's fun. There's videos of the founder. Here's the founder. He died of a heart attack. Let's check him out.
Now this is the point of Ekankar in this cycle. It's more than an organization. It's more than a bunch of little classes stretched around the world, here, there, and everywhere. But it's a place where people who have been looking, are looking, and have found truth can be together. It's just that simple.
Good.
And this
I'm
is
glad it's
the
simple.
reason for the X seminars, so that people of like spiritual mind and heart can be together. To be with someone else who understands the ways of divine spirit. Someone else who understands.
Yeah, I agree. A bit of a snooze fest.
really more into their music. And just the name.
Ek. Now this is nice. You gotta like.
Yeah, I'm sure you love this.
Beyond the ups and downs, beyond the pull of fear, is a place where only love exists. Far from questions unanswered, far from sadness and pain, is a place where the light shines pure and clear.
All right. Well,
Whatever, we get it. It's pretty fun.
I just like that first song my friend sent to me. Love and Ek, Sharon Ek. Let's get into this. Someone on YouTube sent this in. It's pretty fun. We'll get into it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Thomas, and this is Sacred Sunday.
You are correct if you think that I'm mostly interested in this because of how this guy looks. That would be a correct assumption.
And we have a really wonderful guest. I just met her last night. She was on our Saturday night.
Hello.
And she blew me away. And
Wow.
I ask you, do you prefer to be Eden Amore or Sarah Eden? That's how new we are to each other.
Yeah, she of many names. So my mom jokes around about this. So my name now that I go by and use in my world is Eden Amadora, and there's a meaning to it. I'll share a little bit later if you remind me.
Eden Amadora really impressed me because in her presentation yesterday, she was so clear. And we both have a love of Andrew Harvey. And I experienced that she has a similar quality.
You know, believe it or not,
he is the least interesting part of this video. You got to hear her get into her whole thing.
Event in the eyes of my family. I was living in Milan. I was an international fashion model, and I had just signed a record deal that brought me back to America. And my life was full of glamour and chaos and a lot of what I would call splitting off from my soul purpose and my essence light. I had started off very young. My mom introduced me to yoga. I got into meditation, kind of naturally fell into it, maybe from many past lives. By 17, I was meditating. By 19, I was initiated in TM meditation. Years later, into Kriya Yoga. I devoured spiritual books. So I had this foundation of a path of spirituality from a super young age. And at the same time, the split was the part of me on an ego level that was fascinated by glamour. Worldly ambition and materialism. So I found myself in Milan, married to a Playboy millionaire who was addicted to cocaine, and we owned an art gallery, and I was traveling around, bopping around, jet set, first class, 5-star, everything. And it's kind of like from the outside, the movie star lifestyle that people say, oh my God, they're young and beautiful and rich. They have everything. They've made it. We want that. Meanwhile, on the inside, there was so much disconnection, so much drama, so much corruption, so much toxicity. And it wasn't love. It wasn't like real love. It was egoic love. It was just, like I said before, total drama and chaos and high highs and low lows. And at my Saturn return, right after signing a record deal that brought me back to America to record, I was at a spiritual seminar. It was actually, I think a lot of people have heard about Landmark Forum. And what happened to me was, just like we don't go to a gym and start bench pressing 500 pounds right away, I don't know that my emotional body was quite prepared as an empath to take in everybody else's.
You know, I do feel good about, not being young and wealthy, because it seems like, I don't know, it seems like you end up on YouTube making videos about meditation if you get money. If you get too much money, you're going to end up doing this.
Suffering and stories for 3 days in a row in the state I was in my own life. There was so much just tension in my being that I was primed to pop. And on the third day at the forum, I experienced something akin to something out of Carlos Castaneda's stories about Don Juan slapping him on the back and shifting.
Isn't there something, one of those books about like peeing on a guy or something?
As assemblage point to what they call a point of ruthlessness, where you stop speaking the polite, common conversation. You stop caring what people think about you. You're in a totally altered state. So naturally, this happened to me while participating in the forum. It felt like being slapped.
Anyway, let's, as is custom, let's see what's going on much further. I really do just like this guy's look. It's a good look.
I had attended one of his webinars, but he was just getting to know me. And
I attended one of his webinars. You could say we're pretty close.
So you get to see kind of sweet Andrew laughing and joking and being kind and playful. And then when it comes time to record his message, you get to see Andrew channeling the divine. And Andrew's message is how to make our way through these crazy times, through this pandemic, through what's going on in the world. And so I thought it'd be interesting to see both sides of Andrew. So let's give it a go. I might pause a couple times. I'm also going to take a look at any comments that have come in.
Anyway, so I thought this guy looked really fun. So I started investigating him a little bit more. Found this video, Saturday Night Alive. Believe it or not. This is Lauren Michaels. Lauren Michaels said this is
We are live on
okay.
Facebook. Hello, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Katamas, and welcome.
He's a love coach.
This is Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe, August 8th edition, 8-8.
Whoa.
And it's all about those numbers. It's all about this magical portal known as the Lion's Gate.
We're just going to talk about the number 8.
A very experiential show. We've got several prominent, not just speakers, but people who are going to take you through experiences to connect to this portal, to connect to higher frequencies. Some of them are going to do it through music.
Same voice.
We've got Cornflower and Andrea Brooke, the Sonic Butterfly. Some of them are going to do it through magic.
Wait, Cornflower and butterflies? What in
through guided meditation.
What in the world's going on here?
Learn how to prepare yourself. We even have Jody Soranto who does it through voice. So get ready for a very experiential show. Tonight is the Lionsgate portal. I'm going to just bring up briefly. There it is. You're going to get to see all these people, hear from them. It's going to be very, very special. I want to encourage all of you, please share this with your Facebook friends.
Share it
for those
with
of you
your
watching on
Facebook
Facebook,
friends.
just go down and share it. Share it on your timeline. Share it with your friends. And want to welcome.
Okay, I mean, yeah, let's jump in. Let's see what it is. Saturday Night Alive, huh? What's going on?
To relax, become receptive.
Beloved ones, we greet thee, Tizal Kazah. And indeed, it is a great honor for us to be with you at this moment of your time. And as has already been said, simply relax, nothing to do. Just be in the gentle energetic that is being sent to you in this moment. Beloved ones, you are far more than this human incarnation. Most of you are very aware of this.
That was interesting.
You are, in fact, a super conscious being. And part of that super consciousness is incarnate in the body right now.
I'd rather watch Church Lady. You know what I'm saying? Saturday Night Live. Anyway, so that's on that Scott guy, Scott Katamas, the guy with the long hair. This is on his channel. It's in mono. I love this. I think this is good. Nade, nade. That's good stuff. I love it. Yep, there's about 2 more minutes of that, not doing it. But this is the dude, he had the long hair in the other videos and the goatee. He's the love coach. Honestly, he seems like a cool guy. Love this intro. That's good stuff. Looks like the cover of a Stephen King book.
Namaste and welcome. I appreciate that you're taking the time to watch this. And this is time that can be very well used.
And it's got some delay on his voice for no reason.
Because the tools that we're going to be sharing can change your life dramatically. These are tools that are practiced in over 100 countries. And in my own personal coaching and teaching, I've shared these tools with people throughout the United States, Europe, Asia, all religions, all cultures, all backgrounds, even a wide variety of ages. I've worked with children as young as 6.
That was why I picked this video. You got to see him wiggle.
Backgrounds, even a wide variety of ages. I've worked with.
He like weirdly animated his hand on that dog. This is him talking to kids. Very fun. Anyway, from his channel, I found Alan Steinfeld. So let's check this out. I think this is from like a New York public access thing.
Another conversation have been going for so long, but it's with a dear.
I know it's not nice to make fun of old people, but I like the way he sounds.
Another conversation have been going for so long, but it's with a dear friend of mine from about 1,000 years ago, and a dear producer here at MNN. That's Alan Steinfeld. He's got the program New Realities. He's interested in all things spiritual, and he's a guest, and he's a friend from way back when, and he's going to let us know about a conference that's coming up among the people that are in that realm of thinking and consideration. And Alan, so good to have you on the set again.
It is always great to be back with the godfather of public access, Harold.
Totally different vibe, you know what I mean?
China. Really, you have the longest I guess people don't know how long you've been in this business, but you are a model, a role model for many people who want to get alternative ideas out there. And that's one of the reasons I came to Manhattan.
He's an intellectual writer.
Let me let's begin and ask. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I grew up on the South Shore of Long Island, which was a beautiful little suburban.
South Shore of Long Island has some really nice places.
Well, it wasn't out in Suffolk County. It was Nassau County.
Okay, yeah.
But still, it was quite a nice little suburban community.
Happy background and everything like that.
Pretty happy, yes.
Family good.
He's kind of like trying to psychoanalyze him because he's tries to talk about aliens.
Science progresses.
Like systems thinking. Yeah.
He says science progresses one funeral at a time.
Well, that's interesting.
No.
When we see
we're getting Gaia blasted. Getting friggin' Gaia blasted.
Oh, hey.
Blast. I gotta fix those notifications. I guess they show up behind
mine.
Whoops.
An idea, and they stick with that idea, and so even if you say
good scientists won't be.
Well,
They'll
you
be
show me one that doesn't get attached to an idea.
Well, I don't know what you mean. Use these words.
I say most scientists develop a theory, and they get stuck on that theory, and they won't look at a bigger picture. It's been the history of science like that.
Well, on the contrary, I don't think that's true.
Well,
at all.
you get someone coming along like Bruce Lipton talking about.
I did a program with him.
He's a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
He's a leading edge of a new science that combines spirituality.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Thomas.
Thomas?
Lewis Thomas.
Watch two older gentlemen disagree. Love that. Big fan of that, actually. I do like to watch older men disagree with each other.
Good
Lewis Thomas was fantastic.
I like Lewis Thomas.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are in that realm.
So there's a mystery going on that science.
Mystery. Yeah, I think a priori.
And we're a part of that a priori mystery.
A priori mystery is a very good thing to assume.
That has not gone away.
Mystery, not certainty.
Right.
Yeah.
The science says
so
it's certain.
Don't declare these things as nouns. They're verbs.
I am not saying any of this is for sure. I'm just telling you what my belief system is.
Yeah, right.
Your belief system is that it's all natural. It's all going to be discovered if we
it's not at all.
If we have intellectual understanding.
No, on the contrary, I don't use all. I'm very synergetic, and of a means
synergetic doesn't explain anything to me. What does that mean? That systems? Yes. Go ahead, say that again.
Well,
synergy.
You talk very fast, like
let's take it slow.
3-card Monty.
No, let's break it. No, let's break it down.
Tell you what I'm going to do.
No.
That guy is very like Brooklyn, like older Brooklyn guy. I've met a few guys like that. Yeah, it's definitely a type of guy. We'll keep this one open. It's kind of fun to go back to. Anyway, from that interview, we can go here. It's those same two guys. But it's a little different.
I'm Alan Steinfeld for New Realities, and I'm here with the maestro, the actual master of public access TV. And you go back,
I love
we're going to show a clip of one of the earliest and probably one of the most popular shows you've ever done with Jane Roberts. But when did you actually start public access?
Well, it would it would have had to have been back in the early 70s when everything was just coming into being. I was an academic and was teaching at a university when the cyber thing started.
Right.
And Jane Roberts was one of the very important early people who used video.
Well, let's see this. This is Harold now. Let's go back to 1972, one of his earliest programs. His interview with Jane Roberts, and this is Harold then. Let's roll that in.
Oh, this was in her living room with Robert Butts, her husband.
Here we are, Harold.
This evening we're coming to you from Elmira, New York, and we are really very, very honored and privileged to be able to be in the living room and the seminar room of one of the very most significant individuals on planet Earth.
So I've seen a book about this lady. I didn't read much of it. I read some of it in the bookstore. But yeah, she's like one of the early channelers.
I've had experiences.
Sort of an important figure in that field.
Ms. Jane Roberts, who, along with her husband Robert Butts, have been investigating over these past 10 odd years, if I'm correct. I'm not exactly sure, but approximately 10 years. Another state of consciousness than which we are normally accustomed to dealing with. I'd like to welcome you very, very much to the program, and I thank you very much for inviting me here to be able to talk to you. I wonder, perhaps, whoever, I'm not sure which one of you might like to pick up on it first, but there will be some people in the audience, believe it or not, although it's a pretty aware audience that watches this program, but there will be some people in the audience who aren't aware of the material, the Seth material. Could you maybe just give us a little
so she
bit
channels
of a
being named Seth.
Of the means by which, in a general way, you came in contact with kind of consciousness and how it all got started?
Bless you, Chris Copley. Big blast.
This began late in 1963. One evening, Jane was writing poetry after supper, as is her usual custom, and she went into an altered state of consciousness. Just very unexpected by her, and she had an out-of-body experience. She found her consciousness leaving her body, and at the same time, she began to write in sort of an automatic script. Now, this experience lasted for over half an hour, and when Jane returned to
half an hour is pretty long. I guess it's longer than you'd think it is, but it's also longer than an episode of Seinfeld, so, do whatever you want with that.
her usual state of consciousness, she
guess what? We're getting...
she produced this script called The Universe is Idea Construction.
This is in one evening?
In one evening, after supper. I was painting in my studio, and she was...
Skip forward, let's hear her talk.
My consciousness was just gone. And it wasn't an out of body in the respect that I had another body, or thought I did. My consciousness through like the window and then into the leaves and into everything. And it wasn't until I came back that I found the script and realized that, I had to have written it.
Yeah. When you came back and you were in, you weren't. There's two separate planes. You weren't aware of the other as you were.
I wasn't aware of my body at all, or the manuscript, or writing, or anything.
They go pretty far into it, but yeah, she wrote a book. Here it is.
Yeah, that was written entirely in the translate.
Entirely in the translate. And then we have a new book that is now on the shelves, written by Jane, and this is the Education of Oversoul 7. This is out.
Oversoul. Let's get back to our old man.
So you realize that's the only video ever of Jane Roberts, and how did you contact her? I mean,
oh wow.
Well, I was a professor, and I was a defrocked professor because I was very anti-authoritarian.
Right, but you're not a metaphysician. How did you contact Jane Roberts?
Well, actually, it was a telephone connection that I had made from Newport. Yeah. And my friend,
nice edit,
who was a friend of mine who was doing video for me then, we actually had gotten somehow a 3/4-inch deck and everything, which was pretty unique. There wasn't much video taping going on because the technology it was only just developing.
But how did you feel about being in the room when Jane switched her state of consciousness?
Okay.
Oh, I guess she does channel. I didn't know she channeled in the video. Let's check it out.
Everything is a result of idea and has consciousness. But when I was out, I would go.
She's not doing it there.
This is fantastic.
I wanted to take one thing I'd like to say to the viewing audience that I'd like to point out, if we could, very quickly at this time.
They probably, they go back to it. Here we go.
The old stories may be correct, and there is something wrong.
1936.
No, I gotta start paying for the YouTube Premium if I'm gonna keep doing this.
You are afraid because our friend Andy is so sincere and so intent that after all,
the dude just hanging out behind her is a nice touch.
what he unconsciously feels and what sometimes comes through in his talk is right after all. You must ascend.
I love that. I would love that as a sound bite, a drop to use. You must ascend.
Now, in those terms, what you want to be is within you now.
Man, this is like very influential. I've seen a lot of people ripping this off. This is, wow, this is special.
And within your glowing creaturehood, you are blessed because of your being, not damned because of it. As I have told you often, there is a spiritual biology within your being.
It's kind of just, getting, she's getting into sexual stuff. I guess let's let her finish.
And it speaks to each of your moments and through your sexual experiences. It speaks when you drink a glass of water. Or when you wiggle your foot.
I wiggle my foot. Oh, yes.
That is also a highly.
This is, pause it, a good spot there. This is Jane Roberts. Somebody in the chat is asking. Anyway, yeah, so that's good stuff. I mean, that's, if you're going to be watching channelers, she's kind of the original, sort of the Beatles, if you Margot's read the book. It's a little different. The book, she's got a couple of books, but it's all about Seth. Seth speaks. And then there's other one, was something about the Oversoul. Good stuff. Let's get a little more old men and then we'll move on.
Still am not much of one who has much to do with all of that consciousness stuff, but it became what was the hippies. Who's the guy that was the real leader of the
Timothy Leary.
Timothy Leary.
Right.
I love it when you got old men on TV, you got to edit around them trying to remember stuff. It's great.
quite close.
You and Timothy Leary?
Yeah, we did a program with Timothy Leary, and it was into that consciousness.
Do you still have that program available somewhere?
Yeah, it's up.
But first tell me, what year did you start Manhattan Cable? Because you're probably the longest running producer in the country on cable access.
I don't want to say that. There were people way before
that. No, but now you're still doing it. That's 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. That's like 50.
It gets to be long after a while.
But in that time, you've interviewed some of the real leaders.
It's about 5,000 hour long interviews.
I know. So let's talk about from the early 70s.
Pretty good. Anyway, more on the Allen guy, the guy with the long hair. I really like this interview. Alan Steinfeld, that's him. Yeah, he's very good. He speaks with
Welcome to New Realities. My name is Alan Steinfeld, and I'm very happy to have on the show a woman named Aline, who really fulfills, I feel, the mission of this program is to know that we are spiritual beings, and we're part of this evolution, this conscious evolution that's happening now on the planet. And I feel Almeen is one of those bridges from this dimension to the dimension we're moving into. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Very much appreciated, Alan.
Look at this suit.
So, you,
loving this.
I feel, are more conscious of your multidimensional beingness than most people. When we were just looking at each other, can you tell me what comes to you when here we are in the body?
Hey, can you talk about looking at me, please?
What else is coming to you besides this physical world from your point of view?
As I was looking in your eyes before we were beginning, I could feel how you could become one with me when we both expand. I felt like I was entering into you and that we were losing form and filling everything like a unified field.
And this is our destiny as beings. Yes. It's not just me and you, but we are here to
big swing
to transcend
and a
that
big blast,
personal ego and merge with each other like
Steinfeld
that.
Exactly.
Is a ghoul,
and you know,
dude.
we go through steps, I believe, Alan, because for years I've been teaching inclusiveness. And then just recently I recognized that even inclusiveness is a form of a relationship.
What do you mean by inclusiveness?
Inclusiveness would be the opposite of exclusiveness. It's that merging, but beyond it lies oneness.
There's the part where she talks about her awakening.
Go downwards, and then we've been in an upward cycle.
Very good.
So here we are now, collecting our conscious members. To do what? To go where? To
actually, to throw off the alternate realities.
Okay.
I'm here in New York. It's 9/11 tomorrow, and I have not looked at what occurred on 9/11. I could feel a great deal of subterfuge.
Wait, she doesn't know about 9/11? That's I mean, that's kind of impressive in its own way that you could not know about 9/11.
But it is clear to me that what happened on 9/11 was part and parcel of creating an alternate reality. It is done by gold and blood and emotion when it's done in a bad way. There was gold under the towers, much blood was shed, and the emotion certainly was there.
Oh, wow.
These alternate realities.
This is special.
Those who are the masters of the earth, even though they are housewives and dental assistants, all walks of life.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of pushback when you say that dental assistants are demons. I think probably a lot of people are of that viewpoint.
They are the ones that start to see the reality behind the appearances and eliminate the spider webs that overlay the perfection.
And so we're moving into this time where we are giving up the alternate realities in order to come into that true essence of who we are, which is these multidimensional beings, which are these, when I look at you and tune into you, I find you very compassionate. So it's not just this great vision.
Yeah, man, I don't know if you could get away with this now.
It's also
the compassion.
Yeah, the heart.
Yes.
So I think we're grounded in that heart space. And from there we grow the new humanity.
Exactly. There are many, many signs and symbols everywhere. You and I had a show on crop glyphs, and that also mentions the metamorphosis of the species, that we're going to an upward level of life where there is oneness, and that which is separate is joined together, and in fact, anything that can be separated isn't real.
But I also want to talk to you about these libraries that you visit. You said you were transported with your bodies to these sacred libraries.
Bodies?
Yes.
And can we do that? Can I access that too?
Yes. And here's how.
Please, tell me and the audience.
I would love to.
Yes, yes.
I would love to. First of all, I will just make the statement so we're clear on this. I didn't personally have to go to all of them, because eventually records started to be drawn up right in front of my face, and I could just simply do the writing and translate it.
But what kind of records? What is it that we're talking about?
I mean, what good is a library if you have to write all the books yourself?
There is everything, Alan. There is everything from
he definitely looks like Vigo.
How to metamorphose the species, to how to create, get rid of pollution, to how to grow plants.
He looks like Vigo the Carpathian and Viggo Mortensen simultaneously.
The hidden information.
And how do we access that?
Well, there's 3 steps. Let me try and simplify this. Step 1 is that as we learn to watch where our knee-jerk reactions are,
Wonder if I can find. There's something here that I'm actually kind of trying to find.
The debris in the chakras open. It bursts. Is in the silver chakra. And in the beautiful library of the Chinese, I can't remember the exact language in their language, but whatever the library's language was, it spoke about the golden cocoon in the silver butterfly, because it's a metamorphosis that takes place. It's an alchemical equation, and now you can access the hidden information.
Wait, wouldn't the butterfly be golden? I mean, if we're going up in value here, I don't know.
We live bodies of light, and then there does not have to be aging. There doesn't have to be injury.
Matrices meaning the patterns that get stuck.
They're patterns, they're belief systems, as well as being identities. You know, we play these roles, and then eventually we believe they are us. That then they become an identity. They're belief systems, social conditioning.
How did you know all that? Where did all this information come to you from?
You know what? We never write any description on my classes. I'm teaching here in New York this week. I am not able to give a description, because every time I speak or teach, I learn, because it's brand new to me.
I can't tell you.
But where's it coming from? And when did it start coming to you?
It started coming when mind was gone.
When your mind was gone?
Truly, mind is gone.
When did that happen for you?
It happened in 2000, the first stages, because man has 3 stages, and then they actually go into the God kingdom, Alan.
Oh, okay.
And the 3 stages are, first of all, identity consciousness. It's an over-contraction into identifying with form and emotions. Most people are addicted to that. It keeps them from the fear of their vastness. But then
that's such a good point, that most people are addicted to their emotion and keeps them from realizing how amazing they truly are as God beings.
But to my amazement, I found that you could also become addicted to the expansion. And most of the masters in the Far East have become addicted and stay in the expansion.
So what else is there besides the expansion?
So there's 3 main stages, and those 3 main stages is identity consciousness, God consciousness, which is the bliss, the expansion. If you stay there, all the power drifts through your fingers. I was in there
It all
for
goes
a
through
year.
your fingers.
And in that time, signs of aging started to happen. It happened when I was 50. And up until that point, there hadn't been signs of aging. It happened in that year.
So then what's beyond it? How did you get beyond that?
So she was as smooth as an egg until she hit 50, and it all went through her fingers.
Beyond that is ascended mastery. Ascended mastery is omniperspective. And the first phase of it, I just had to coin a phrase. I didn't know what anyone else was calling it. But it was the totally, totally silent mind. where there is no thought preceding speech. I have learned to simulate thought with my eye movement, with my pauses, because I sounded like a robot. My classes were
She had no thoughts.
starting to complain and fall asleep.
Because you separated from that the emotions and the thoughts that are generated in the personality or in the...
The actual thing is that during the God consciousness stage, there are no thoughts.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Many phases.
Within each of the 3 phases.
And they each have the same testing.
Okay.
Like the initiate that comes to the path. And
it's so pleasant and so relaxing.
Who wants to move on?
But you're saying that also can get you stuck.
Well, it's almost like you feel sleepy with it. It's like being drugged.
There's another part, I can't find it now, but she talks about how some of her awakening occurred in 2005, so I went and looked up, other things that happened in 2005. Gas was $3.18 a gallon. I just think it's funny, I think about most of these things, like we were watching Jane Roberts earlier, and it's like, that happened in 1972, and I'm like... And then Chopo'S thing.
Yeah, that's about right.
But when somebody says 2005, it's like, oh, I remember 2005. So like somewhere in the world in 2005, this woman was going through a major awakening. And, that's when Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was in theaters, as was Revenge of the Sith and... Madagascar, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Hitch. So somebody's in the theater watching Hitch, right? And then that woman is doing a totally different thing. And, somebody's listening to Rascal Flatts. And she's doing her thing. I don't know. Just for some perspective. Anyway, let's get into the next channel. And I already know that some of you are going to hate this, but I think it's going to be fun. And also, his name is Alan Steinfeld. She calls him Seinfeld in the beginning of this, so just hang tight. And this is fun too. I like this intro. Breaking news.
Welcome to Angel Air. My name is Anita Mayberry. Thank you for tuning in to this exact same moment, time, and place. Today with me I have the beautiful Alan Steinfeld. Thank you so much for coming. The beautiful Alan Steinfeld.
That's good stuff.
In today and being on Angel Air, it's just an honor and a pleasure to have you.
Well, it's great to be here with you. It's I do my own show, so it just feels natural to explore the airways of Angel Air.
Well, thank you. Alan, you do have your own TV show, New Realities, and on that you do different discussions and different topics about consciousness and raising vibrations. If you would be so gracious as to tell us a little bit about that and how that came into work. Where did that creation start for you?
That's a good question. Where did it start for me?
In that mastermind of yours. I want to hear, please.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out. I think it started when I was a child and realizing, I was brought up very, it was very typical suburban mentality. Everything was the way it was supposed to be. It was very cookie cutter. There was no thinking outside the box. You didn't even
I don't care about any of these people's childhoods, you gotta say. People keep asking Alan Seinfeld where he grew up. I don't care.
That exists physically and non-physically, and there's no barrier between this flow that exists. So your mind is sort of multidimensional, representing a new reality of thought. And here we are.
Yes.
No, do you understand what I mean?
I do.
And if more people think that way, we'll have less problems.
I was just going to say with this, what you're bringing and unveiling and allowing people to tap into and see, sense, and hear where do you see that movement going? Like, what kind of elements and how high can we go?
We could go into infinite because the old structures aren't working, right?
They're not, especially with the children coming in that are going to be new. They won't be able to apply to any of that, the old school methods.
Look what happened. Yes, education has gotten in the way of learning.
It has.
Medicine has gotten in the way of healing.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez. I've been getting real peeved about stuff like that lately. Someone in the chat earlier mentioned QAnon. That's been peeving me off. Feel lucky to know a lot of people that are also peeved about it, though. It's just a mess. It's just a mess, you know. Medicine's getting in the way of healing. Come on, Alan. You clown. Total clown. I'm talking about clowns. So now we're on to Angel Air, her channel.
I'm Anita. I'm a spiritual intuitive guide, healer, oracle, and channeler of light. I would like for you to imagine what it would be like to live in a beautiful world where we are all connected. A world we can tap into
the creativity
and infinite potential that lies within everyone and use it for the goodness of all.
We are truly all one and connected in ways that most of us don't really think of in more detail. But beyond that, I'd like everybody to think about being connected, being one, and able to tap into that connection and realize that the universe, source, God, angels, all of divinity is on their side and will help in whatever they want.
Warmly welcome you into the spiritual dimension. Those that are ready to share their gifts, knowledge, and insights are emerging and taking a stand for spirituality. Join us as we organize and express ourselves through films, stories, music, radio, education.
Oh man, you know what? You really got to see this video of her. Oh, this is amazing. This one, you know what? Maybe we should have led with this. This one is very good. Divine demonstrations. We'll just get right into it. Basically,
angels and Anitas. And today I'm guided to work on her crown chakra, on her ears, and her hips and her heart.
Oh boy, is she gonna work on her ears. Check this out.
We're gonna go through that.
Fantastic. Well, I'm super excited. Nikki, you are a fantastic healer, and I'm just so excited and privileged that you're gonna be working on me today. And after the demonstration, I'm gonna give a personal testimony of my experiences and what I felt during the demonstration. So stay tuned.
I'm going to vocally tune in to Anita's energy. And with that, I'm going to send a wave of essentially water energy down her to start doing some cleansing.
Yeah, so it's really not water energy. You're gonna see.
So let's do this.
So that, I guess that's water energy. I don't really know. Who am I to say that that's not water energy? Oh, it's good. And you gotta wait a little while, you know. You can't do it, you know, full blast over and over again. You gotta give it a sec.
Little dragonflies coming out for you. Alright, I'm gonna do it again.
What?
See lots little dragonflies.
There's a lot of dragonflies, I guess.
Do your ears first.
No, don't do my ears. Do not do the ears. She's just like cranking her ears or something. Just like pulling imaginary hairs out of her ears. There's like a ball of yarn sitting on her too. I don't know what that's about. This part's good. I wonder how much this costs.
Do you soak your feet in Epsom salt?
I do.
Okay, good.
I should do it more often though because my feet tend to go through a lot, especially energy-wise. So.
Because that's what I'm seeing, like just sitting, even just like watching TV and just sitting with your feet in Epsom salt.
Great.
I'm gonna close with doing a tuning down your body through your crown. And we're gonna send
You hear the trucks outside.
a couple of minutes of a calming blue water with dolphin energy because I'm working with that right now, my little dolphin. But that's gonna clean out all the gunk, and then it's basically kind of like a rainbow energy. It's gonna come down after that and just
what gunk?
Clear you out essentially. I'm gonna sit for. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna do. I'll say 4 because that's what I keep getting. Okay, I'll do 4 different tones.
I love that so much. So good. It's hilarious. Oh no, not more. Ah, come on. She's like jittering.
Okay, now we're gonna go through with water and dolphin energy.
Oh wait, oh now we're doing dolphin energy?
And it's gonna go well beyond just your physical body.
Oh good. Should really soundproof that room.
You may even see a couple of dolphins say hi.
Oh, she has braces. That's great. That's awesome. Just getting the wand. I like how she's doing this with her hands too, like, I don't know, like how you like flick like water off your hands or like something gross, you know?
Okay.
A lot of bad energy near the feet, they were saying. I find that very interesting.
And in just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and reveal my personal experience with you and your beautiful energies that I got to share today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nikki, thank you so much for such a wonderful, wonderful demonstration. I would like to share with our listeners and viewers some of my personal experiences while you were working on me with such beautiful divine energy. I love whenever I was laying on the table how you first introduced the energy to me, as well as bringing in the channeling energy that went all the way from my crown all the way down to my feet. Now, I'm a water person, so for me, you brought in just the right kind of element because the water energy really helps to cleanse and clear me, and so you were really in tune with my guides and my angels in doing so. And as the water energy was coming in with the dolphin energy, I could actually feel like my body was being cascaded by a waterfall. It felt like a waterfall. So for me, that was a really, really incredible experience. Not only that, I have to say, whenever you were working on my heart and on my throat, I was clearing the energy. I was coughing because there was energy that was being released, and I could feel you pulling the cords that were coming from there, allowing whatever was ready to be released to be released. Along with my heart chakra, so I've been going through so much cleansing and deep soul growth, and I believe there's time that's coming up ahead on my journey and on my path that my heart is ready to expand and allow love in on a deeper, more divine level. So thank you for clearing that energy. And I loved your toning on me. As you know, I have a very high-pitched voice and I have a very high-pitched frequency that I work with. And the fact that you were able to hit those key notes and allow that vibration ring through my body was actually vibrating to that. Like my body was twitching because it was resonating with that tone. And when that tone comes through, it allows me to release whatever's ready to be released, as well as how to rejuvenate my spiritual DNA cells. So in doing that, I can actually see my aura moving, and my energy being shifted, and also the clearing from my feet too. So that felt really, really good. So I just want to personally say thank you so much for allowing me to be in your beautiful sacred space and allowing me to share this beautiful session with you. So Nikki, I know this isn't just everything that you do. What other things are on your agenda, and what other kind of events do you host for your guests and clients?
Thank you. I am working on meditation classes as well as cord cutting and intention setting ceremonies at Kaleidoscope. I'm also working out of the Healing Cafe in Elverson. We're going to start working on some classes there.
Healing Cafe.
I also have a kids development group where I'm going to start working with teenagers as well as little kids, and we're going to have group sessions where we can come and talk about anything, especially spirituality and stepping into our own. And I also have a lot of kids' crystal classes, and I do private classes as well as classes in Kaleidoscope. So.
Fantastic. Well, everybody knows that tunes into Angel Air on a frequent basis that
pretty good. Anyway, she did a video at like a healing expo. I just got one more thing to show you. I thought this particular healer was very funny. It's like he's like somebody's grandson. They got him into crystal healing, or I don't know. It's good stuff.
My name's Dominic. I do Reiki here today at Greg's Healing Expo. I've been doing energy work for a number of years now, and
I'm doing Reiki at Greg's.
Had some pretty incredible experiences doing healings for
Mom, I'm going to Greg's to do Reiki.
People. All sorts of things come up in the healings. We work through the chakras, through the energy systems, bring in higher energies, clean and clear out different energies that you may have going on. Get rid of old energies, and just basically try and give the client a sense of peace and relaxation throughout the session.
The event is, it's a charitable event, it's a community event. The healers are donating most of their time and talents for free.
I love that his voice is clipping that hard. That's excellent.
So let people have this experience. So what we did was for only $30, you would be able to experience.
What, are you in the Strokes? Huh? You need some of that console overdrive on your vocals there, Julian.
3 different types of healing. We also have groups healing going on downstairs. So for only a $10 pass, we have a full day of
I want a shirt that just says laugh on it. That's a great shirt.
Group events, which include things like laughter yoga, qigong, flute and didgeridoo meditation, crystal bowl and gong meditation, group healings, things like that.
First, let's do our smile mask. So we're going to inhale through our mouth, goes like this. Like we're putting a mask behind our ears.
Yeah, it's a little too relevant.
Deep breath, okay? Let yourself exhale.
Flaming chalice.
You can also do a stretch breath. So let's reach down. And we're going to...
Very fun. Everybody, I think that was a very fun session. Good sesh, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Big blessings. Yeah, having fun in this new form. Corporeal form. I'm at a different level of reality now. So that's good. We all like that. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Big bless. Make some dolphin noises at my clown shop. Next time you're in town. Okay. And I wish you all a big bless. A big bless. All right. Get your gunk out. Get out. Go.